Todd and Julie Chrisley's daughter and Chrisley knows best. Star Savannah Chrisley doesn't understand why her parents got a lengthier sentence for their crimes than Shah did. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star pleaded guilty to wire fraud for her involvement in a nationwide telemarketing scheme that targeted elderly people. On January 6, the reality TV star was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. Meanwhile, Todd and Julie were found guilty of conspiracy to commit bank fraud, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and tax evasion. The couple was sentenced to a combined 19 years in prison, despite maintaining their innocence. Todd and Julie began their sentences on January 17, while Jen will begin hers on February 17. During a recent episode of her podcast, Unlocked, Todd and Julie's daughter, Savannah, compared her parents' sentence to Yen's and couldn't understand why they got a lengthier sentence. She noted that it didn't make sense if one put the cases side by side. Savannah emphasized that most of the victims in Yen's case were elderly people, while her parents were convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. She added, there were hundreds of victims who were elderly, and people that provided statements that lost their homes threatened to end their lives. There were so many different things, and she got 6.5 years. Make that make sense. Julie Chrisley vows to figure out her Todd's sentencing referencing her parents. Savannah noted that Todd and Julie didn't admit to being guilty of their crimes and have maintained that stance throughout their ordeal. She also pointed out that the Chrisley family was standing by their truth. They claim they are innocent and there were no victims in their case. Julie was also present during the podcast episode, which was released hours before she and Todd reported to prison. The Chrisley's matriarch said, "None of it adds up, and to me, there's more to it." Julie said she had committed herself to figuring out what it was and for them to get to the other side of things so they can help people going through similar situations. Going by Savannah's comments, it seems the Chrisley family senses foul play in their sentencing or suspects the authorities are against them. Todd and Julie have always maintained their innocence and appealed the guilty verdict, but their efforts proved futile eventually. Although Jen got a lighter sentence, despite the severity of her crimes, her guilty plea likely helped her in that regard. On the other hand, the Chrisleys maintained their innocence but were found guilty. Hence, the court might have felt they were not remorseful, resulting in the lengthy sentences. Although Savannah has every right to shed light on the disparity between her parents' sentencing and Yen's, she shouldn't be focusing on that at the moment. The Chrisley family is in a difficult phase now and should focus on staying together and pulling through for the next 19 years rather than focusing on things they can't change. Also, Julie should channel her mind to navigating prison life rather than trying to get to the root of something that may be non-existent. Hopefully, the Chrisley knows best patriarch and matriarch and their family will come out of this phase stronger and better. Sources: Unlocked, Apple Podcasts, Savannah Chrisley, Instagram.
With a gentle touch, you tell me what all love I have to say.